Hi, everybody. Welcome to Demo, the show where companies come in and they show us their latest products and platforms. Today, I'm joined by Cody Hall. He is a product manager at Synology. Welcome to the show, Cody.
Happy to be here.
And a hardware company, right? So I'm excited. We get so many software companies in here. You guys have been in the storage space for a while. So what are you going to be showing us today?
I'm going to be showing you ActiveProtect Manager, a dedicated all-in-one enterprise backup and software solution.
Okay. And again, who is this really designed for? Are you moving into the enterprise space, and this is why we're seeing some of these new products?
Yes. This system was specifically designed for enterprises looking to streamline their design, implementation, and management of their backup infrastructure, even at scale, and also taking into consideration industry standards for ransomware protection and air gapping and the like.
Okay, and I'm assuming that this is geared towards the network managers, the storage managers within a company, or are there other people, are there other groups within a company that would benefit from this?
Oftentimes at an enterprise, there's going to be a whole team that's dedicated to managing backups at a scale of that size. So this is really targeted to those teams and the pain points they might experience managing other systems.
Is everybody doing backup well these days, or is it still kind of a mess?
Actually, no. So we've done some workshops over the past couple of years or so, and whenever we would ask a question to the audience, we'd ask how many people have tested and ran their backups and all of that, and we saw very few hands being raised. So it was a little bit concerning. So I don't think everyone is doing backups perfectly across the board.
Okay, and so what problem is this ActiveProtect Manager, aiming to solve? Like, why should a company be interested in learning more about this product?
So ActiveProtect Manager, the reason why you would want to learn a little bit more about it is since it's a dedicated hardware and software solution, your backup teams won't be spending as much time speccing out the hardware and the software alongside of it. This system has pre-configured hardware and software, so you're going to be essentially able to repeat your deployment over and over again. So as you scale your system, your IT team will be using less brain power to do so they can focus their attention elsewhere.
All right, so if a company didn't have this, they would be spending a lot more time doing this than they would need to if they had this.
Oh, and definitely. And with other backup vendors out there, you may get some agnosticism with your hardware choice, but that gives you a burden of choice for your IT team. They ultimately have to design and implement that all themselves, making expansion harder as well. And this aims to alleviate those pains.
All right, so let's jump into the demo. Show us what you have.
All right, wonderful. So this is an ActiveProtect Manager. This is going to be the environment we're going to be walking through.
Okay.
So we're going to be taking a look at the ways that the system can help you with management and all the things you can back up and some different restore options inside of it. So the dashboard is going to be your main snapshot of your entire backup health that you're taking care of. So you have your total workloads, your total data size in terabytes. As you scroll down, you can see the health of your backups and some storage usage trends. So this dashboard is a great management tool for making sure your backups do not have any errors. For example, we can see we have some warnings, some errors here. We can pop right into one of those and then begin to triage some of those errors that we're indeed seeing. Another great feature inside of ActiveProtect Manager is the plan architecture. Now, protection plans in and of themselves are also a management tool because as we're going to be building these plans out, if we were to edit these plans after the fact, it would change the backup policy for all of the protected workloads as well. So going through the plans, there's quite a few different options that you can select in here, but we're going to call out the main ones that allow you to accomplish a 32110 backup topology. So right at the very beginning, there's immutable protection plans right at the very top. That's definitely one of the most popular features in backups today, so we'd follow through with that. So to get 32110, you would definitely want to enable the immutable protection plan option. You can go ahead and name this. And we can choose our default cadence for that primary backup. That can be daily, hourly, and we can get more granular on how we want certain backup types to run for a Windows server, a Mac device, and so on. We can also do some advanced application-aware backups, which uses industry standard tools like VMware tools, Hyper-V services, and VSS. We can also do database processing, and we will show the restore options for that in just a moment here. Now on this next page, this is going to be part of the 0 of a 32110 solution. So 32110 backup solution is at least 3 different copies, 2 different mediums, 1 offsite, at least 1 copy immutable, and 0 errors. So we've already talked about how the dashboard can help you manage 0 errors by jumping into those different warnings and things like that. But enabling backup verification as well for your critical virtual machines and physical servers that will also help you achieve 0 errors across your backups too. And this takes a low-resolution video of the backup image it collects and boots it in the internal hypervisor on the system and records that video. Next is your options for backup copy. You're going to be able to actually enable a copy off-site to another ActiveProtect appliance, a DP7400, 340, or 320, or you could push that off to remote storage, be that a ActiveProtect Vault or C2 object storage or first-party AWS S3. And that, in a nutshell, is plans overall.
Okay.
And that is going to be sort of your way to manage your backups as well. You can change your backup policy from there if you ever needed to edit it at that point.
Okay.
Great. So once you have these plans in place, you can apply them to physical machines and have it as an auto-discovery policy for your virtual machines and the like. So we've already collected some backups, so let's go through some of the restore options you'd have once we have those backups in place.
Okay.
So for example, virtual machines, we have a SQL server that has the AdventureWorks sample database loaded into it. I pulled the application-aware backup and also the SQL backups for that as well. So if we wanted to go in and restore the system, you kind of have two options now. Since this is a SQL server, we actually can go into the recovery portal and pull out the MDF and LDF files of that SQL server and download them directly through the recovery portal. So as we go to this Browse Files option here, you can see there's a Databases tab, and you can see I can pull all of those MDF and LDF files there and download them all with that button right there. Then from then, you're going to actually be using your SQL commands to inject that data back in. And of course, if you wanted to spin this whole virtual machine up, you could do so with this Restore to Virtual Machine button. You can do a full or an instant restore right back into VMware or Hyper-V, or boot it up on the internal hypervisor on the ActiveProtect Manager device. So we'll do that today. So as you can see, the 3 different options here I just mentioned, and we can hop into restore into the built-in hypervisor. And then go ahead and name this. And we'll breeze through some of these menus, connect it to a default VM network, and let this fire away with this restore.
Okay.
So now this is going to be restoring this SQL server on the internal hypervisor for this device. And as we hop back over here, you can see that we have this SQL Server VM that we restored to this internal hypervisor. And if we look at the details, this restore took all about 12 seconds to actually get this spun up on this local device.
Okay. So you are saving a lot more time than if we had to do this in a different method, right?
Yes. So since this is local to this device, there's not really any data in flight.
Yeah.
If we were doing a full restore back to a production data store, yes, that would be bound by your network bandwidth.
Sure. Are companies mostly doing restores because of security incidents and restoring back to a safe state, or are there other reasons that companies would need to restore some of their drives? Well,
you might need to restore back to a previous point in time, especially if you're doing some sandbox testing. Maybe you want to try out an update before pushing it to production.
Yeah.
This would be a way that you could do
that. All right, cool. All right, so it's a lot of great stuff. I know you've got a lot of other cool features. Where can people go for more information? And you offer demos or free trials or anything like that?
Oh, yes, definitely. So you can go to our website, Synology.com. There's a knowledge center there. Likewise, we have our YouTube channel where we have our Synology product online trainings. There's hours and hours of video content on that. And lastly, we have our inquiry system. Go ahead and send us an inquiry and we can get some demos scheduled with you and also train your team on the whole Synology suite.
All right, Cody Hall from Synology. Thanks for joining the show and thanks for the demo.
Happy to be here.
That's all the time we have for this week's episode. Be sure to like the video, subscribe to the channel, add any thoughts you have below. Join us every week for new episodes of Demo. I'm Keith Shaw. Thanks for watching.